Hi, I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm referred to as the Big Game Hunter because I coach people to play their game big. And that game could be around life, career, job search, their small business, their solopreneur operation, whatever it is. I want to help you play your game bigger. Because at the end of the day, a lifetime is not a long time. And it goes by, oh, my fingers hurt today, like that. Tried to snap my fingers, but I've got a sore knuckle. So my apologies. It just didn't come through to me. It probably didn't come through to you. So happens just like that. So I spend a little bit of time every day, Monday through Friday, coaching people about how to play bigger. And today's show is, or today's conversation is really going to be about getting started. See, I was reminded of the challenges people face getting started with a conversation I had over breakfast yesterday morning with someone. I coached him for a while. He went away. No fault of mine. He couldn't afford the service. And despite my offers to the contrary, I offered to basically work with him for nothing. He decided to go away. And I think he was afraid of getting started, and you'll understand why in a second. See, for a lot of people, it's kind of like losing weight or running a marathon. They dive in at 2,000,000% effort, and they can't sustain it. They start, with a mountain, and they think they can eat it instantly. It doesn't work that way, does it? For this guy, his situation was one where he's underemployed. I know that because I know him. I know what he does professionally. He's underemployed. Maybe you are too. And he thinks to himself, I'd like to put together workshops for people, particularly teen boys, to help get them ready for adulthood. Great idea. I don't know if there's money in it. Not my place to know. It's his place to know. But I can support him in getting going. And as we were sitting and talking, I realized that he was trying to bite off a lot more than he could chew initially. And eventually we got to, well, let me get to the eventually later on. I'll just simply say, so what are you doing so far? He said, not a heck of a lot. I translate that into nothing. So I asked him, so what are you doing? I said, well, and he starts, stammering a bit, like most people do. When you ask them a simple question like that, and they feel a little defensive. I'm not trying to make it tough on him. It's Sunday morning brunch. I'm just curious what he's been doing along those lines, because he brought it up. Not a lot. I said, can I give you some free coaching right now? He goes, sure, I'd love it. Well, it's kind of like stopping smoking. If you try and do it instantly, it's hard to do. There are just so many triggers that take place when you smoke, so many situations that you're used to smoking in. To suddenly stop smoking for most people is hard. And I told them about my own experience with stopping. Now, I haven't smoked in probably 40 years now, but I used to smoke 4 packs of tobacco a day, a few bowls of pipe tobacco, and a couple of cigars. I smoked a hell of a lot. How did I stop? I went through a program that I have no idea if it's still around, called Smoke Enders. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do a quick Google search to see if I can find that they're still around. The Smoke Enders program worked for me. Let's see. It looks like they're still around. Smoke Enders Online. Yeah, it's still there. So Smoke Enders worked for me. And what was the idea? Very simple. Week 1. Smoke as much as you want. Really, smoke as much as you want. Change brands to something else. Anything that you think you might like or anything else, that's a great place to start. Just change brands to something else. They gave you something to wrap around a pack of cigarettes. They called it a pack strap, and it had all the hours of the day for all 7 days there. and you put a rubber band around your pack of cigarettes with that thing. And every time you smoked a cigarette, you just put a little mark next to the hour of the day that you had it. And if it tasted good, you put a T there. So far, this is pretty easy. And they say, smoke as much as you want, but after you finish a meal, no cigarettes for 15 minutes. And while you're doing that, they gave you a little travel thing of Livoris, a mini toothbrush and toothpaste, and they just said, brush your teeth and gargle with Livoris. And the idea was, cigarette after a meal is a pretty typical habit. We want to start delaying that habit and showing you that you can delay your habit. 15 minutes, that's all you've got to do. And just brush your teeth and gargle with Livoris during that time. But otherwise, smoke as much as you want and just record the cigarettes that you have. Now, as I was talking with my friend, I said, your problem isn't smoking, your problem may be getting going. And I know you got a lot of things on your plate. You're a dad-in-law, and your daughter-in-law is in the house with her husband and kids. So you like to be a doting grandparent for the grandchildren, and sometimes it's there's stuff to do, and sometimes you're tired. But I said, try this. After you have dinner, just say to your wife, I'm going to take about 15 minutes to work on something. I'll be back in about 15 minutes. And if that seems like too much, try 10. I'll be back in 10 minutes. I'm going to be in my office for a little while working on something. 10 minutes, 15 minutes. That's all you got to do. And you do it 6 days a week, maybe 7. And you know what happens if you do it in 6 days? You got an hour of work done on this project. And if you do that for a month, it's more than 4 hours. Most months are 30 days, not 28. So it's 4.5 hours, 4 3/4 hours in a 31-day month. And you're starting to get some steam going and developing a habit of doing that. And that's just with 10 minutes. And yes, a few of those minutes are going to be, what was I working on yesterday? Where did I leave off? What was I thinking of? Yeah, so what? You're still going to put more time in than you are right now. And that's really the idea. When you're starting on something, when you have an idea to work on something, it's real easy to say, I'm going to run a marathon next year, and not really have a plan for it, not really do the work to get yourself ready to run that marathon, not be prepared. And as someone who ran a marathon, I spent a couple of years getting ready for it. The first year, I got myself up to a 5K race. The second year, I got myself up to a 10K race. The third year, I ran a half marathon. The fourth year, I ran a full marathon. Most of my friends dropped out of this after the half marathon. It was a tough, hilly race. Tough day to run it. It was hot in upstate New York, and there were 6 or 7 of us running, and we had a great time, but it was a tough race because of all the hills. And for you starting out, you want to set up small incremental things that you can do to start building your muscles to get ready. Like right now, I'm getting over some injuries. Plus, I've put on weight since I ran that marathon. In the years since then, I've torn each of my Achilles tendons. I've had hamstring pulls. I've gotten married, become a dad. It's been a lot of years, but I was running 5K before I started to have some foot problems. And now I'm back at the beginning, and I'm back running 4 stinking minutes. But that's 4 minutes more than I was running a month ago. And I know next week I'll have it at 5. Maybe even 6. Woo! I'll go crazy there. But the idea is small incremental change over time starts to develop your muscles. And the same is true with an idea, a book that you want to write, a business idea that you have. Any change starts with a small idea and small incremental steps to build up your capabilities. That's what I was talking with him about, and that's what I'm working on with myself. Making some small changes that allow me to step up in class and play bigger. I want to get back to running 5Ks. I like that. I feel good when I run. I enjoy myself. It's a mental and emotional challenge. So tomorrow I'll be back in the gym. I'll do another 4 stinking minutes after my 20-minute walk. And in a week or two, I'll be able to start cutting back on the walking and increasing the running. For you, with an idea, I want to help you play big. So, if you reach out to me, you can do it through my website, which is nobscoachingadvice.com. You can schedule time with me through the website. You can get some encouragement in the form of videos and a few articles I've written. There's a lot that's going to be there that's going to help you play bigger. And more importantly, reach out to me to schedule time so I can coach you, because I want to help you get the results that you want. I want to see what actions you want to take to get those results, and in fact create a scorecard for you that allows you to monitor yourself and work with me to get this goal accomplished, to achieve this thing that you want to do, to get the results that you want. As I say all the time, hiring a coach is a smart thing to do. It doesn't show weakness, it shows intelligence. It shows the intelligence of knowing that it's easier with support. It's easier with someone at your back, encouraging you and cheering you on as you face some of your struggles. Hire me as a coach. I'd be very happy to help you. I'm Jeff Altman. As I mentioned, my website is nobscoachingadvice.com, and reach out and hire me through the site, and I'll be back tomorrow with more No BS coaching. Have a great day. Take care.